Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 3, Episode 3, Buried Secrets. This was definitely a great episode for the season. It seems like it's in the beginning, at least it seemed like it was the first episode that was really going to dive into what the main story would be for this season, and it could possibly be. I'm sure they'll go back to it, and using the Kraang ship that's actually in the basement, they might be able to come up with a plan to find some way to do at least something to fight back against the Kraang in New York City. But this was a really good episode. It started off, it gave us like a lot of hope, like, oh crap, they found April's mother, which was really cool. And it's like, this is why she was gone, which was one of the cool things about the episode, is that although we still don't know where April's mother is, we do know what happened to her, because even though it was a creature that was meant to be a Krang spy that sort of just went nuts, the creature was given April's mother's memories, and she knows what happened when they were on the run. She got captured and they did experiments, but April's mother is still somewhere out there. So I would love to get a definitive answer as to what happened to her. We know she was captured and experimented on, but she's she of course was transferred somewhere else. So I can't wait to see them kind of go back to that story, and it might not be this season, it might not be in the next season, I don't know, but I would love to get some answers and kind of have April reunited with her entire family. That would be really cool. But it was a great start. We learned the history of the actual Krang ship, and how April's great grandfather actually awakened the Krang, and that's how they started to experiment on the O'Neills, because it was just, it just happened to be the wrong guy who did it, because it was just like, oh, this family bloodline is the right bloodline, and that was all there was to it. But it was a great episode, and by the end of it, I realized like these guys can make some really grotesque things. Like the monster, when it went into like its full form, was just really gross. Especially, I think the worst part about it was the fact that its head split open. That was the creepiest thing to me, and it was just like, it didn't need to do that, but it was super gross. But at the same time, it was really cool. Like it had all these just gross looking parts to it, but it was really well done. And I enjoyed the versions of it where it would take over other people's bodies and then just use like tentacles. It actually reminded me of the video game Dead Space, and if you don't know that game, you can like Google some stuff on Dead Space. But it made me think of the Necromorphs, which are the main enemies in that game, just how it looked and how it was attacking, even though it's just more like tentacles instead of pincers or anything. But it was just a really cool enemy. It provided some really good moments, like Mikey. Mikey being right about it was pretty interesting. Of course, the very end of the episode, I knew that that's what he was gonna do, was sort of taunt his brothers and gloat that he was right. But I think one of the funniest things is when he was actually taking over, and the thing was trying to be like silly Mikey, and it was just standing there like, it almost looked like a unfinished model in a video game or something, where they're just standing straight and they don't they don't move. Their arms are just like out in the regular pose, and he was just smiling and doing nothing. I thought it looked really really funny, but it was really cool. It was a cool enemy. Like it kind of took advantage of pretty much everyone until it got down to the last person. And the only reason April survived and saved everyone else is because her being under that sort of duress actually unlocked her abilities. And of course, I don't think we're going to get too much out of that, unfortunately. It was a cool show of force, because typically she's only really used it in ways to sense things and find other people, but it was used as a weapon in this episode, so that was really cool. So it unlocked the small little stuff that we got to see, but it probably won't really be in future episodes, not too common at least. It'll probably come up every once in a while, but it was a great episode. I definitely enjoyed the little bits of comedy, like even the opening part, they were just dusting the house. It was kind of funny and cool. But overall, I thought this was a great episode. It's gonna lead to, like, with the mutagen having been dumped in the swamp, it's gonna lead to the future episodes where it's like, oh, here's the next crazy monster that they deal with, because that's kind of how things have been going this season. It's just crazy monster problem of the week. But I'm definitely gonna enjoy it, because I know we're gonna get some characters. The toads that they showed at the end are gonna be really popular characters that are in the series. I don't know who the characters are specifically, and I don't remember them from the last Ninja Turtles cartoon. But I know a lot of people who are like hardcore fans are definitely excited for those characters to come up, even though they don't really like how they look. I saw some of those comments, but that's That's just gonna happen. I am excited to see these characters come up and how they sort of progress through the series because I'd love to see them kind of team up with the Turtles and try to help them take back New York. But this was definitely a great episode. It gave us a little bit of a lesson on April's family. Not only the fact that she's important, but it's her entire bloodline going back to her great grandfather. The fact that the Kraang just were in that house, but it was just a great episode. A little bit of history, still another question as to where her mother really is, but a great, creepy, nasty looking monster fight at the end. And overall, I thought it was a good episode. So, of course, comment below and let me know what you guys thought about it. Your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And we've only had 3 episodes this season, but which enemy, I guess, was your favorite enemy? Was it the monster they had in this one? I guess Bigfoot wasn't an enemy, so I guess your favorite monster so far in the season. But was it like the Jason Swamp Monster? Was it Bigfoot, or was it this one? Because I'd have to choose this one just because it kind of it had a one up on the turtles throughout most of the episodes. So I actually enjoyed it because it was so dangerous. And I guess technically so did the Swamp Monster, but this one I thought was pretty like a little bit cooler than the sort of Jason Swamp Monster thing. But comment below and let me know. And thanks for watching.